Hello and welcome to your daily dose of Satoshi's news. Today's date is Friday, the 9th of May 2025, the year BSV comes alive. Branch your threads, expand your mind with treechat.ai or your post put on chain. Let's see what we got today. So we're gonna go over some of these posts from CSW. You know, there's this thing kicking off as ever. There always is. So quite looking forward to that. We've got some. We'll just ask Rock Wallet what they're doing about this. Rock Wallet would like to paste from YouTube. Like, what? The shitcoiner debate about increasing, I think it's the op return. The data on chain are they're calling it arbitrary spam bits of data. Just listen to that. It's quite interesting. This looks really good. We got mybsv.io wallet, which just looks like it's using HTML. Look, a really simple wallet. So you add it, send it. It looks really simple, really simple. Article here from Cointelegraph. We see what that's like. Article here from CoinGeek saying, is mining still worth it? Interesting. And then ECB to test digital euro. UK drafts stablecoin regulation. Some 365 days of Bitcoin history. What an epic day it's been today. And then that'll be the end of the show. Right, let's get into it.
Greg says he's Satoshi, like a cowboy in the West, riding on the blockchain that they call the very best. 1 million strong, them transactions flying free. Just wait for the Terra node, you'll surely see.
Here we go. Right, let's see what CSW has been up to. So this looks like its first rant about quantum computers. He says, let's get this straight. No effing quantum computer has ever been created. Not one. Not a single machine capable of maintaining coherence long enough to produce even a single logical qubit. Physical qubits, sure, they've wobbled into coherence for a hot second, long enough for a headline, not long enough for a computation. A logical, is it qubit? Something you can actually use to correct errors and do meaningful work. Never in the entire history of humanity. But that doesn't stop the circus, does it? So obviously not a fan of quantum computers. He says, this is effing ridiculous. I've got these theses due this week. Something I've poured months, years into, and instead of writing, I'm babysitting Microsoft Word like it's a toddler with a head injury. I'm restarting more than I'm editing. I open the document and it crashes. I scroll and it freezes. I change one figure and suddenly the whole effing thing decides it's time to implode. I'm trying to focus, trying to finish something that matters, and what do I get? Word starting again, over and over, jumping to random pages, mangling formatting like it's having a seizure, and giving me no confidence that anything is saved. Autosave, might as well call it auto maybe. 1 minute it's fine, the next it's locked up tighter than a Vatican archive. I'm not fighting the clock, I'm fighting the tool that's supposed to help me. Clearly having issues with Word there. You know, and he goes on, with regard to Word, he said, you'd think after decades of development, billions in revenue and countless professionals relying on it, Microsoft Word could handle an effing document with thousands of footnotes, but no. Here I am, 650 plus pages deep into an academic, legal and technical document with references as thick as a goddamn statute book, and Word throws a tantrum like a toddler with a sugar crash. I've stripped the appendices, I've thinned out every section, I've even shoveled the damn thing into their own cloud servers, hoping it could cope. And what do we get for my trouble? Crash, boot, freeze. Yeah, obviously not happy with Word there. Is that the new is it Office 11 or something like that? You know, I've yet to try that. I'm not really looking forward to it. Let's see what he says about Dean Little here. Haven't heard from Dean in a while. But anyway. He says, Dean Little seems to believe that asserting a few early coins are P2PK gives him divine authority to proclaim ownership over the entire stash of Bitcoin supposedly mined by Satoshi. His premise hinges on the laughable assumption that he, from behind a keyboard in 2025, has some magical insight into the intentions, addresses, and key formats used by a pseudonymous individual who intentionally obfuscated his identity and practices. He makes bold proclamations as if he's pored over thousands of Coinbase transactions and cryptographically confirms Satoshi's digital fingerprint with omniscient certainty. Let's be clear, nobody other than Satoshi Nakamoto knows knows what Satoshi owns. Not Dean, not the journalist he parrots, not the security theatre clowns at core. Most of what is attributed to Satoshi is speculation wrapped in hubris. Many of the so-called Satoshi coins are guessed from timing, patterns, or arbitrary statistical models. They could belong to an early miner, exchanges for all we know, a basement hobbyist who got bored in 2010 and left the machine running. But Dean, with the confidence of a used car salesman in a hurricane, insists these are definitely Satoshi's coins. Why? Because he wants it to be true. Because his entire performance depends on pretending that the myth grants him relevance. And then there's the nonsense about P2PK versus P2PKH. Yes, some early transactions use P2PK, that's a known fact, but that has nothing to do with the overwhelming bulk of Bitcoin transactions thereafter, especially the coins that are actually being touched today. The absurdity of this argument is he confiscates historic outputs with ongoing security risks, ignoring that P2PKH conceals the public key until spend time, meaning that until you reveal it, there is no target for Schnorr's fantasy algorithm to exploit. But that's the entire charade. Dean's argument is built on a purely theoretical attack vector, enabled by hardware that doesn't exist, can't exist under current physics, and even in hypothetical form, wouldn't break what he claims it breaks unless the user was careless enough to expose a raw public key before moving the coins. It's like warning people not to buy safes because burglars in 2075 might invent X-ray goggles that can see through lead. All of this from someone who likely couldn't implement SHA-256 without consulting a Stack Overflow. The most pathetic part of all of this are while core devs run around squawking about theoretical quantum collapse and waving around Schnorr's algorithm like a priest with a crucifix, they're ignoring the only coins ever remotely vulnerable are ones that haven't moved in over a decade and maybe never will. And even then, unless you have both the public exposed and the usable quantum computer, you're just flapping your lips. Dean doesn't care about that, of course. He's not here for truth. He's here for posturing. You yell scam louder than the next guy while standing in a swamp, but entirely from Twitter threads, press release, and the unearned confidence of someone who's never had a real key in his life. And he goes on about Jameson Lopp here as well. Jameson Lopp's latest spectacle, Safeguarding Satoshi Stash, is yet another masterclass of the art of security theatre. He parades around hypothetical quantum attacks like a street magician, waving smoke bombs, selling existential dread warped in quantum mysticism to an audience too bored or too clueless to call him out. Let's be clear. Let's be clear. Quantum that queer is a combination of quantum and clear. That's queer. Let's be queer. Let's be clear. Quantum computers capable of attacking SHA-256 or REPMEMD 160 doesn't exist. Not in labs. Not in theory. Not in God's back shed. Yeah, I mean, I don't really know what Craig is going on about there, but I'm on Craig's. I'm on Team Satoshi all the way. You know. All these other scammers don't have a clue, and we know they don't have a clue because they don't have any economic sense whatsoever. You know, that's pretty much it, really. I mean, there's so much stuff. There is so much stuff. Can't go through it all. That's 9 minutes gone already. Just talk about this. So somebody sent me this saying, "What on earth is Rock Wallet up to?" Literally. So it said it updated the wallet, and it said Rock Wallet would like to paste from YouTube. Paste from YouTube. What on earth has Rock Wallet got to do with YouTube? Paste from YouTube. Like what? Send and receive, or are you trading? What's this got to do with YouTube? Unless somebody's trying to hack the device that this is on, it just seems very suspect. Like so. Hopefully we'll get a response from them, but let me know if you're having the same issues. Check this out. So I mean, this is what we're up against. Like, this is what again, over at Core, over at Gregcoin, the discussion is about. Let's have a quick listen here.
Is spam subjective? Is spam subjective?
Yes.
Can we vote? Is spam subjective or is it objective? I say subjective.
There is an objective difference.
I'd love to hear this, Luke. Tell us more.
Bitcoin's design allows miners to put up to 95 bytes per block of arbitrary data,
That's Luke Dash Jr., the cat eater in the middle there.
which is encoding this arbitrary data to look like something it is not, to deceive nodes into accepting it. Completely different.
It's very different. We've never had a problem with people.
Look at Shinobi there in the orange hat with his head in his hands like he's trying to
It
protest.
is not, to deceive nodes into accepting it. Completely different.
It's very different. We've never had a problem with people writing Antpool in a Coinbase. It's fine. No one has a problem with
You said
Satoshi,
deceiving
right?
someone into them thinking it's what it's not, but surely then there's just a perception issue. It's not, and it's not really. That's not really a technical
It's
judgment,
a
is it?
technical.
That's
If you
Jameson's
submit
been waiting
JPEG
for a
as a
minute.
transaction, it will be rejected.
Can you believe, like, literally, this is what we're dealing with. All this lot are all Core. Literally, like, just a bunch of absolute school kids. Absolute school kids. Honestly, in charge of a multi-trillion-dollar asset. This lot. Like, just bear that in mind.
Rejected by every single node. You have to obfuscate it and make it look like something it's not to make it accepted.
Sure. So
Is there an objective way to tell if someone's lying?
Jameson's been waiting for a minute, Walton. Come on.
Okay,
Jameson.
Look, this debate is fascinating because we have one side that is being.
Oh, honestly, I can't be arsed listening to that, but it's just absolute BS, One side, again, wanting to add data on chain. And these were the very people who argued against that. They were going, it's so, they're calling it, platform maximalists versus money maximalists. It should only be money, only for Bitcoin transactions, which are just simply NFT data. No spam should be put on chain. It's basically the big block argument again. But again, neither side, one side is utterly nefarious and knows what Bitcoin should be used for, and the small block, the parasites that were created by Blockstream to sort of rally behind their own argument, and now the parasites that they're going up against. But it's parasites versus parasite. Which parasite's going to win? Who cares? Yeah, that's really what's going on there. Check this out. So, Fan PP said, I just published Gateway Wallet, a breakthrough in self-sovereign BSV blockchain interaction. Open in browser, so I just clicked that. There's also a Medium article here. That looks kind of cool. A breakthrough in self-sovereign BSV blockchain interaction. In the evolving landscape of cryptocurrency wallets, Gateway Wallet represents a significant advancement in how users can interact with the BSV blockchain. This browser-based solution offers unparalleled sovereignty and security while eliminating traditional barriers to cryptocurrency adoption. Let's explore what makes Gateway Wallet unique and why it matters for the future of digital asset management. True financial sovereignty with zero dependencies. Gateway Wallet embodies the core principle of cryptocurrency. Oh, losing the word cryptocurrency. Fucking hell. Permissionless peer-to-peer transactions without intermediaries. Unlike most wallet solutions that rely on third parties or APIs, Gateway Wallet connects users directly to the BSV blockchain. The most revolutionary aspect of Gateway Wallet is its self-contained nature. The entire wallet, including all required libraries and functionality, loads directly from the blockchain itself. This creates a unique bootstrapping mechanism where the blockchain becomes both the network and the gateway to access it. Key features and innovations, no installations or account creation required. Gateway Wallet works entirely in your browser without requiring downloads, extensions or app installations. Users can generate a wallet in seconds with a single click, done that, making it accessible to anyone with internet access. The elimination of account creation and KYC verification processes means that users maintain complete anonymity while still having a full access to blockchain functionality. Again, so take out the word cryptocurrency, take out the word anonymity. Cryptocurrency should be like, a digital commodity, and anonymity should be privacy. Yeah. Anyway, Client-side security. With Gateway Wallet, private keys never leave your device. They're stored securely in your browser's local storage, ensuring that you maintain complete control over your funds. This approach eliminates the risk of severe breaches that plague centralized wallet services. Blockchain-loaded dependencies. Perhaps the most innovative aspect of Gateway Wallet is how it loads its dependencies. Rather than pulling JavaScript libraries from traditional CDNs or servers, Gateway Wallet retrieves these directly from the BSV blockchain through transactions containing the necessary code. This creates a self-reinforcing system where the blockchain itself provides the tools needed to interact with it. Comprehensive functionality. This sounds awesome. Sounds awesome. I haven't really got time to go through that right now because we've got some other articles to get through, but I'll link that in the description so people can have a read through it themselves. But yeah, quite looking forward to that. Nice. New wallet. It would be nice if we could have paymails, paymail at mybsv.io. That'd be pretty great. Cointelegraph says SocialFi, and we've got DeFi, SocialFi, all this crap, has failed to take off. Here's what needs to change. I really can't be bothered with SocialFi. Give me a break. Give me a break. It's just such a load of BS. Talking crap. Can't be bothered with that. CoinGeek. So Bitcoin mining 2025. Is it still worth it? I'm quite interested to hear the opinions on this, because I have my own speculative theory on what will happen or what is going to happen with mining and Terranode and all that. So let's see what they say here. There's a strange irony to this moment in Bitcoin mining. The deeper we dig, the less we mine. At Mining Disrupt 2025 and similar events around the country, the conversation has quietly shifted from digital gold to grid stabilization. Bitcoin mining is a grid balancing technology, maybe the best in history, said Dennis Porter of the Satoshi Action Fund in a recent panel. That's not hyperbole. Porter is among a growing number of professionals who recognize that mining's unique ability to throttle demand in real time makes it one of the most valuable flexible loads available to power operators. There's a sober wisdom in that observation, a big opportunity but also a problem. Miners are making money today in everything but mining Bitcoin. Carbon credits, stranded energy, tax incentives, debt-fueled BTC accumulation, and curtailment agreements. Many jobs are also being created in the manufacture of the proverbial picks and shovels of the Bitcoin era. These are clever plays. They serve the grid. They keep operations alive, but they increasingly distance miners from the very network that they were designed to secure. And this is the point of my ongoing coverage of the mining industry as a whole, punctuated again by my coverage at Mining Disrupt 2025. The margins in pure hash rate for Bitcoin, presuming he's talking BTC, are so low and so commoditized that the only way to survive is to stack side hustles. And there are plenty of those if you know where to look. Shrewd entrepreneurs are still raking in revenue, but the signal is clear. Mining alone no longer pays. So where does that leave Bitcoin? It leaves us with a question no one wants to answer. What happens when the largest infrastructure layer of Bitcoin becomes entirely indifferent to Bitcoin itself? Porter and the others see this as an opportunity. If Bitcoin mining is now power infrastructure, let it thrive. Let miners be paid not just in Coinbase rewards, but in government contracts, demands, response payouts, and ESG bonuses. Let Bitcoin's engine run for the sake of the grid. However, this evolution also raises external questions about the long-term sustainability of Bitcoin as money. If mining rewards are increasingly delinked from usage, if transaction volume remains anemic and block subsidies shrink, then what exactly is the system supporting? Just Michael Saylor, Jack Mauler, and a few big custodians alongside a few dozen private hodlers around the world. This is the ticking time bomb for every halving. The industry that should be racing to scale usage is instead racing away from it. As I've said many times, Bitcoin scaling won't come from ideas, it will come from commercial pressure. That's why we need Terranode, why we need useful tokens, why we need real on-demand, and why we need real entrepreneurs building for real users. Otherwise, the smartest people in the room will keep building profitable businesses that have nothing to do with Bitcoin. The incentives are drifting, the mission is at risk, but the tools are still here, waiting to be picked up by builders and entrepreneurs who still believe Bitcoin should mean something. Didn't really give too much away there. I have my own theory as to how the Bitcoin wars are going to play out with the miners. The article didn't really touch on anything that I had in mind there, but worth going to. Let's have a look at this. ECB to test digital euro. UK draft stablecoin regulation. Let's see what's going on here then. The digital asset landscape continues to evolve in Europe as the European Central Bank sets up an innovation hub with 70 participants to test its digital euro project, and the United Kingdom draft digital asset legislation proposes that foreign stablecoin issuers and DeFi may not be regulated in the country. Digital euro. On May 5th, the European Central Bank, the central bank of the European Union, announced that it had established an innovation platform to collaborate with European stakeholders on its digital euro project, the bloc's long-mooted central bank digital currency. According to the ECB, the innovation platform simulates the envisaged digital euro ecosystem in which the ECB provides the technical support and infrastructure for European intermediaries to develop innovative digital payment features and services at European level. Following a call for interest published on October 2024, around 70 participants, including startup, merchants, fintechs, banks and other payment service providers, have signed up to participate in the platform. Among them were a global professional service company Accenture, Swiss telecommunications company Swisscom, Spanish bank, can't pronounce that one, and the Big Four audit firm KPMG. The participants joined one or both of two defined work streams, pioneers and visionaries. The former will focus on conditional payments, where a payment is only triggered if a condition is met, such as the arrival of a parcel, while that latter will explore other potential use cases with societal impact, such as financial inclusion. Give me a break. We welcome the huge amount of interest that market participants have shown in this exciting initiative, and said Executive Board member Piero Cipollone. The breadth and creativity of the proposal highlights the digital euro's potential as a catalyst for financial innovation in Europe, including the development of new solutions that further enhance the payment experience for Europeans and create market opportunities. On 29th of April, HM Treasury released its draft digital asset legislation, also called the Future of Financial Services Regulatory Regime for Crypto. Love they put the word regime in there for crypto assets, which aims to protect consumers and for your protection, and make the UK an attractive venue for digital asset firms. Through our plan for change, we're making Britain the I can't be bothered reading that shit. What's this? Interpretation, part 2. Safeguards, yeah. Stakeholders and contracts. I might go through that in my own time just to have a look at it. Alright, that's 23 minutes. Check this out. So on the 9th of May 2018, the Transform Africa Summit, this famous speech from CSW. Let's have a listen. This was ace.
Ladies and gentlemen, if you just remove your phones and you type on Google, Bitcoin founder, the name that comes out is Satoshi Nakamoto. Right under it, other words, Australian entrepreneur Craig Wright has claimed he is Satoshi Nakamoto, the creator of the virtual currency Bitcoin. Mr. Wright, who lives in London, showed the BBC his evidence that he launched the currency back in 2009. So all this has been alleged, but the man that says he is the founder of Bitcoin is here. So Craig, kindly join us on stage.
So, no thanks for that, but anyway, I'm going to do the bit no one likes. I don't like really caring whether you like me. Now, I'm going to tell you the hard bits. Now, in 2000...
Craig has improved drastically since then. But look at the beginning here. Look at this snake in the grass. You watch. Right, so this guy here in the blue shirt, that is Hoskinson. That is Charles Hoskinson. And Craig knows he's an absolute effing scammer. And look what he does when they call Craig on stage. Look.
Bitcoin founder. The name that comes out is Satoshi Nakamoto. Right under it,
he's like,
other words,
get up here. Oh, get the fuck
Australian
out of here.
entrepreneur Craig Wright has claimed he is...
There he is. Look at that. Look at that. The snake in the grass. He doesn't want to face Craig on stage because Craig will look at him. He knows he's a scammer. He knows he's a scammer.
Satoshi Nakamoto, the creator
Look
of
at
the
that. Snake in the grass. Anyway, let's find the best bit.
Bad. Now, I don't care whether you say that's good or whatever else. If you want to go into all this other BS, I'm not going to be like everyone over there who wants to sell you a solution. I don't really care because I'm here for the long term. I'm going to be here in 20, 30 years, and eventually I don't really care what you say. I'm going to be having the solutions you're using. Now, the fact of the matter on this is you can open up and allow free trade, you can open up and allow your country to be more, or you can wait and hand money to a whole lot of people. And I'll say this quite frankly because I've got more money than your country.
Oh dear, absolutely. I shouldn't be laughing. I shouldn't be laughing, but it absolutely tickles me. Like Craig is just raw. He's just raw. But the thing is that he's not. When you actually listen to what he says, he's not saying it to rub it in. What he's saying is literally, I'm not here to rip you off. I don't need to rip you off. I've got more money than all of you. Yeah, but it's the way he says it. It comes across like he's like bragging and bravado. But that's just not what is not what he means. It's really quite funny. I would encourage everybody to go and watch that. Right, that is a 27-minute show. We'll leave it there. I hope you enjoyed it. So as ever, if you enjoyed these updates, please ding all donations for your appreciation to either Satoshi at Senbit.com, Handcash.io, Rockwallet.me, Simply.cash, Relasia.com or Senti.ch. We'll leave it there. Hope you enjoyed it. As ever, be aware, take care, stay safe out there, and we'll see you in the next one.
2 years ago, you got SegWit, which we lied and cheated and stealed, and I was part of the lying and cheating and stealing to get SegWit, to get Lightning, which, by the way, had critical vulnerabilities and lost people's money.
The king still has one more move.